What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. That's right, today we're going to be talking about two totally different types of shot callers, and I'm going to be showing you how to make a prison incense out of some toilet paper. And the reason why we're going to be talking about the prison incense during this topic is because I remember like it was yesterday, if it wasn't for the little incense burning at all times, I probably would have gotten caught up into some stuff. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so check it out. There's two types of OGs, or shot callers, okay? One is absolutely ruthless, doesn't care about anyone or anything except for him and his people. And the other one has compassion, has principles, and respect for everyone, no matter if they're affiliated or not. Now, I've came across three shot callers in my time where it was actually more of a personal level, where it wasn't just, hey, goodbye, see you later, or lock eye contact with them and just hope nothing happens. I'm talking about literally sit there, drink coffee, and conversate, talk about life with these shot callers. And there was three of them in my whole 8 years of doing time, three of them that I really got to know and understand their personalities. And two of them were absolutely ruthless, you know. Even when I'm sitting there drinking coffee with them and talking about the day or their life, I was actually pretty freaking scared for my own. Because these guys, man, you just don't know what they're thinking. You can't read them. They could be saying one thing to you so friendly, and next thing you know, they're just setting you up the whole time. Just trying to brainwash you in a kind of way that I can't even explain. So that's why I always say don't ever trust anyone in prison, because you never know a man's true intentions in there. You know? Especially these shot callers, man. I'll tell you what. I remember in Powhatan, okay? Powhatan, and this is where the incense story comes into play. And Powhatan was a receiving, and this place was like, it was like Alcatraz or something. I'm talking, I had 3 tiers, first floor, second floor, and third floor. And it was huge, like hangar hallway, okay? You go into the housing unit, and it's just like 250 to 300 cells. I'm talking about it was a lot of cells, and there were 2 men apiece. So you do the math how many people were in there running wild. Now, this was receiving. Now, what makes receiving a little more dangerous than other compounds? I mean, they have everything and everyone in there. Whether you're non-violent or not, you're going to be in there with violent offenders, okay? Rapists, murderers. You're just housed with all of them. And you know, people always talk about, I went to level 3, 4, or I went to level 5, you won't survive there. Well, guess what? When you go to receiving, it's pretty much all the way up to a level 6, because you're housed with every single kind of inmate. So receiving, in my eyes, is much more dangerous than any other part of the penitentiary. And a lot of people call it something else, you know, but receiving is what they call it in Virginia. That's a prison where everyone goes to get their numbers for, you know, they determine what prison you're going to go to, whether you're violent or not, if you're going to go to a low level or a high level prison. That's where they determine it. And in Virginia, we call it receiving. Now, I've been to 3 different receivings in my time: Deep Meadows, Mecklenburg, and Powhatan. And I'll tell you right now, Powhatan, out of all the prisons that I've been to, Powhatan Prison in Virginia was absolutely ruthless, okay? At least at the time that I was there. And there was a shot caller for the Bloods. I can't remember his name, but he was out there, man. He was just sending all his little troops to do everything. And this is how it all started. You know, out of all of those cells that I could have went into, alright, I went into probably one of the most dramified cell out of all of them. All of them, okay? I went into the cell as this white guy, man. He was just absolutely insane. But he did tattoos, and he was the only one at the time in there doing tattoos. And not only that, he broke the light in the cell, and he was popping the wires to get light, fire. So that means when I walked into this cell, I soon realized that this guy had ties with everything and everyone. I'm talking about everyone, different kinds of gangs, everything. So when I walked in the cell and I got to know him a little bit, I realized this guy was literally lighting cigarettes for every single buddy in that whole side of the compound. I'm talking about everyone would come up to the cell, be like, bro, I need a light. Bro, I need a light. Bro, I need a light. And that was his daily motion, okay? He would literally light cigarettes all morning, day, and night. Cigarettes, bud, whatever the case was, wicks for people to burn ink. He was doing it. And I was like, God, man, they put me in the most worrisome cell ever, man. Everyone constantly was knocking on the door asking this dude to do something. I'm talking about it'll be 2:30 in the morning. He'll be sleeping and someone will shake the freaking bars, wake him up, say, yo, we need a light. You know, I'm getting furious by this, but at the same time, I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing because a lot of these guys were out there doing some ruthless moves, man. I'm telling you. One of these OGs for the Bloods, like I was saying, he used to, man, this guy was ruthless. He would come over there almost every morning and kick it with the white dude in my cell because he was doing tattoos on him. He was doing tattoos on a shot caller guy. And, you know, receiving, you're going to leave within, 2 to 3 months max. And, I kind of got to know this shot caller just because I moved into the cell. And everything turned upside down for me when this guy had to leave, okay, when he was moving on to another prison. So that means I knew this was going to happen, man. I knew that these people were going to come at me looking for lights all the time, okay? And I don't like dealing with electricity. That's why I never really made stingers while I was locked up. A stinger is like pretty much heating up water with broken electric wires. That's pretty much all it is. And I never did it. I hated it. I hate electricity. It freaks me out. I've been electrocuted before, and it's absolutely terrifying. But I knew it. I knew it, man. I knew as soon as this guy left, these guys were going to get me to start popping that little wire where he broke the light for these cigarettes and bud and all that stuff. They were going to come to me afterwards, and sure enough, it did. And that's where this prison incense comes into play, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean in a second. But, me just being in that cell, I got to know that other shot caller. But look, check it out. Every single day, man, this shot caller for the Bloods, man, he would have all his little troops. He would be in his cell with the cell door closed, and all his little troops would be gathering in front of his cell. It looked like a football team getting play moves, you know what I mean? And as soon as they were done talking, it would happen every day like clockwork, okay? New people came in, and people were leaving, it's receiving. So as soon as like a lot of these new people came in, and they always preyed on the white guys, man. And you never see them do this kind of stuff to the black guys. You just didn't. Even the weak ones, they just left them alone. They only preyed on the white guys, man. And that's one thing I didn't really like is picking and choosing who they were going to do it to. So every day, man, these guys would just get their play moves from the shot caller, and then you would see them disperse from the cell, and then they would meet up, and they would just go up from cell to cell, either robbing or just asking for people to give them their food. And 90% of the time, the guys would just give it right up. You know what I mean? And there's this one guy that said no. This one white dude, he said no, and they went up in there, 6 of them into this little tiny cell, beat the hell out of him, and took everything he had. And next morning, he was sitting outside his cell all lumped up, and I was talking to him. I was like, "What happened, bro?" A lot of guys went up to him and was like, "What happened, man?" Well, and he was like, "I got jumped. They took everything." They asked me to give it to him at first, and then after that, every store day, he was literally handing it right on over. And they wouldn't take everything. That's the funny part. They wouldn't even take everything when they handed it over. They would say either you can hand us a little bit or we're going to take everything. You choose. And, I mean, what are you going to choose? You know what I mean? Well, what are you going to say if six gang members came up to your cells, look, with a bag, look, put some good stuff in here or else we'll take everything. Which one do you want? I guarantee it. 90% of the time, y'all are going to kick that. You know what I mean? And they never came up to me like that. But I always had in the back of my head, like, maybe these guys might try me. I don't know, man. And these guys were beating people up in the stairwell every single day. This shot caller was just calling out crazy moves, man. And those are the ruthless guys. They don't care about anybody. They don't have no compassion, no remorse, nothing. They just worry about money. They just want that money and that respect, and that's it. Now, when it came to this, let me show you really quick before I go into another shot caller story. This is just a normal piece of paper, okay? In prison, Muslims got prayer oil. Now look, in order to make a prison incense, all you got to do is twist this up really tight. And remember, I said I didn't like electricity, so this was vital for me to keep something lit at all times. I didn't like to, and it was much easier. Someone needed a light, I would just go to my incense and light their cigarette. I didn't have to go through the whole process of hitting that electricity. Alright, so I'm not going to twist this whole thing up, but check it out. That's all it is one simple piece of toilet paper twisted up. And you know, Muslims have prayer oil. So I used to dip the incense in prayer oil, and the whole thing would soak it up overnight, and it would smell wonderful. You know what I mean? So we would light it up, get a good flame on it, blow it out, hang it upside down, and that puppy will burn non-stop. I used to tie this thing up to the intake vent. You know, they have this little mesh-like thing. I used to tie it up, twist it up, and put it right in it so the smoke would instantly suck right into the intake vent. You know what I mean? And I would have incense that would be burning for hours. I mean, hours and hours. Sometimes I would go out in the rec yard and lift weights for an hour and a half, and I'd come back to my cell and it's still burning. You know what I mean? And this saved a lot of time and pressure when it came to that's all I use it. That's how I put it out. You know, just a little bit of spit, and dab it right on there, and boom, it's out. You know what I mean? Now, so that prison incense kept a lot of stress off my shoulders when it came to dealing with that electricity, and it was a good thing about lighting all these cigarettes for all these freaking gangbangers. You know what I mean? I was getting plenty of smoke. I was like, as soon as I light it, I'd be like, all right, here you go, bro. You know what I mean? I would take the longest drag while I'm lighting that thing, man. And sometimes I'm like, bro, come on, man, you know? Just light it and pass it, man. You ain't gotta hit it so hard. And I'm like, man, I'm good. I'm just trying to light it, bro. I'm just trying to light it, dog. So, yeah, Powhatan was absolutely insane, man. This guy was ruthless. He just was sending out hits and robberies every single day, man. And I would just sit back and watch this stuff. Like, maybe one of these days it might be my time, because I used to get a lot of canteen, man. You know, I always got a lot of canteen. I was always in there eating and stuff like that, but no one ever ran up on me like that in any kind of way. You know what I mean? And I got to know that shot caller quite a bit. Even when that guy left, he used to come to my cell and then start drinking coffee and talking to me. He even asked me to start doing tattoos. That was the only time in penitentiary I ever said to anyone, I don't know how to do tattoos. Because I knew that if I told this guy I knew how to do tattoos, it was a wrap, man. He was going to be making me tattoo them all day long. I was like, nah, man, all these tattoos, you know, I got done by other people. I don't know how to do tattoos, man, for real, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's how it went down for that. Sometimes you got to play the game, you know. Penitentiary is a mind game. You know, I used to laugh with this guy when he cracked a joke, but deep down inside, I'm like, I don't give two hells about you, bruh. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing funny about what you just said, but I'll laugh with you. Prison is like one big mind game, okay? Once you learn how to manipulate another person's mind, you're good. Now, there was another time in Greensville, man, and I think I might have touched on this story a little bit, I'm not sure, but there's, you know, I had two friends in Greensville that I chill with on the regular, man. This one guy, his name was Bird, and he did tattoos. I did tattoos as well. We were the only two people that did tattoos in the block. And there was gangbangers all over the place, you know what I mean? But there was no shot caller. There was no leader in there, for real. And one of those other guys that chill with us, he was cool with us too. He would chill and kick it and laugh with us. He was a really cool dude, man. And I still know him on the streets to this day. And if he ever watches this video, I know he knows exactly what I'm talking about. And, you know, we were all cool. The three of us, we were always chilling, laughing, telling stories, eating together. And then this shot caller came into the block, man. And, you know, he got all the people that are affiliated with whatever he was affiliated with. And he got them all together, and he, you know, he built a construction process, okay? He was building his little platoon, and he was organizing everything. So I knew right then that there was going to be some stuff going on, depending on what kind of mentality this guy had. Now, he didn't have a complete ruthless mentality. He was actually had a little bit of principle, but at the same time, he was very ruthless. Like the very first thing that he made someone do, he sent the guy that I thought were both of our friends. We chilled every day. As soon as this guy came in the block, he sent him into Bird's cell to beat him up. For no reason. No reason at all. Like, I don't even, to this day, there is no reason for why he turned his friend against him. You know? Even if you think he's your friend, if he's gangbanging and that shot caller tells him to go do something, you better believe he's going to come tear you up. Simply based upon that shot caller telling him to do it. Okay? And that was so messed up. I lost all respect for him after that, man. How you going to let that man tell you to go beat up your friend? How are you going to do that? This man ate with you, laughed with you, joked with you, gave you stuff, and you're going to let some shot caller tell you to go beat him up? Lost all respect for that guy after that, man. If you are watching it, bruh, hopefully you changed your ways and realized that stuff is absolutely insane. You should never let anyone determine what you're going to do, especially towards someone that you called your friend. You know what I mean? It was absolutely insane, man. But I ended up tattooing that shot caller. I was about to go home, so I just wanted an easy ride until I went home. So I gave him a tattoo, but at the same time, this dude paid me decent when it was done. And I'll tell you what, that was one of the most scariest tattoo experiences I had, because if I messed up on that guy, man, oh, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. You know what I mean? So I was a little paranoid. At the same time, I wasn't, because I had faith in my skills and my abilities. But, you know, anything could happen. Man, this shot caller had so many lookouts while I was tattooing him, it was almost overkill. Like, as soon as the police came in, you would hear, like, 90 different whoops. You know what I mean? 90 different calls letting everyone know that the police is in the building. And when the police hear all those whoop whoops, whoop whoop, you know, every time the police hear that, if they hear a lot of them, they know that something's going on. They're going to be looking even harder at what's going on. You know what I mean? So it was almost overkill. And I don't think a lot of people really understand that when it comes to lookouts. Don't overkill it. You know what I mean? It makes it even more hot, believe it or not. And check this out, man. Gangbangers, man. They're scared of their own shot callers and OGs for real at times. A lot of times, believe it or not. You know, I'll tell you a whole nother side to a gangbanger. Look. They'll sit there and be scared of their own homies. For real. You never know what's going to happen, man. Some of these guys, man, they were scared because they didn't know what that shot caller was going to tell them to do the next day. It could be anything. And, you know, sometimes a lot of these people that are affiliated, they don't want no shot caller in the block. They don't want nobody telling them what to do. They just want to claim that name and have fun and relax and chill. But they want to claim that gangbanging name. Okay, it's all fun and games until a shot caller comes in there and tells you to put some steel into someone that you cook and chill with every single day. You know what I mean? So don't think it's just normal civilians getting scared of these crazy shot callers. Trust me, even their own little foot soldiers. Okay, they might act like they have respect for them, but for real, they fear them, and that's about it. That's the only thing that they're thinking of is like, hey, if I don't do this, my own homies is going to kill me. So, it's not just the normal civilians, okay? And you know, a lot of gangbangers ain't going to tell you that, man. They ain't going to tell you that they're scared of their own homies more than the rivals. But for real, that's how it is sometimes, man. You know, people I've seen so many people get violated within their own gang that it's absolutely insane. Over the most stupidest stuff, too, you know? And, you know, there's also shot callers out there that have respect, compassion, and principle. Okay? I've seen some little foot soldiers go and rob some people, and then, you know, that shot caller goes, look, bro, you need to go return all that stuff to that man right now, for real. That's some messed up stuff. Go return it. You know, they'll walk right to the guy and return him all of his stuff, if not more. It's called a respectful leader. Okay? For real. Now, when stuff hits a fan, of course, you know, he's going to show his darker side. But when it comes to robbing innocent people and getting them caught up in the mix, he looks after civilians. That's a respectful, compassionate shot caller, man. And there are some out there, and they're wise, and you know, they probably don't even want to be one no more. You know, they're getting soft, and that's it. You know, those are the two different types of shot callers, man. Some are ruthless. Most are ruthless, but there are some that have compassion. You know, and those guys with the compassion, they usually get out and they stay out, and then they get out the gang life and they regret ever doing it. The ones that are ruthless are going to be going in and out the penitentiary the rest of their lives, or they're going to die out there on the streets. And don't ask me, man, in the comment box, y'all, later on, why I did this with my glasses on. I don't know why I do the things I do. Sometimes I just do it. I popped them on and I said, hey, let's roll with it. You know what I mean? And also, later on tonight, okay, stay tuned later on tonight, because I'm going to be doing some merchandise giveaway. That's right. Late night tip, probably around, I'm trying to, I try to cater to the West Coast as well. I know there are a 3-hour time difference, so I'll probably do it around 10:30 Eastern time. I'm going to do a live stream, and I'm also going to go and get me a webcam today so that I can stream without it getting dropped. When I do streams from my phone, it just drops all the time. I don't know why, man. When I'm outside of this little area, it doesn't. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get me a webcam, and I'm going to be streaming for the computer for the first time, and I'm going to be doing some giveaways, okay? My audience is giving to me, and I'm going to give back. I got a lot of t-shirts in here that I would like to give away. I got a few extra aprons and stuff like that. So stay tuned later on tonight, 10:30 Eastern Time, p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to try to win some merch, I'm going to ask some questions. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but it's going to be done. Until the next time, man, y'all have a great, blessed, and safe day.